Leviticus chapter 7 verse 1 to 38. Verse 1. And this is the law of the trespass offering. It is most holy. Verse 2. In the place where they kill the burnt offering shall kill the trespass offering, and the blood thereof shall he sprinkle upon the altar round about. Verse 3. And he shall offer of it all the fat thereof, the fat tail, and the fat that covereth the inwards. Verse 4. And the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is on them, which is by the loins, and the caul upon the liver, with the kidneys shall he take away. Verse 5. And the priest shall burn them upon the altar for an offering made by fire unto Jehovah. It is a trespass offering. Verse 6. Every male among the priests shall eat thereof. It shall be eaten in a holy place. It is most holy. Verse 7. As is the sin offering, so is the trespass offering. There is one law for them. The priest that maketh atonement therewith, he shall have it. Verse 8. And the priest that offereth any man's burnt offering, even the priest shall have to himself the skin of the burnt offering which he hath offered. Verse 9. And every meal offering that is baken in the oven, and all that is dressed in the frying pan, and on the baking pan, shall be the priest that offereth it. Verse 10. And every meal offering mingled with oil, or dry, shall all the sons of Aaron have, one as well as another. Verse 11. And this is the law of the sacrifice of peace offerings, which one shall offer unto Jehovah. Verse 12. If he offer it for a thanksgiving, then he shall offer with the sacrifice of thanksgiving unleavened cakes mingled with oil, and unleavened wafers anointed with oil, and cakes mingled with oil, of fine flour soaked. Verse 13. With cakes of leavened bread he shall offer his oblation, with the sacrifice of his peace offerings for thanksgiving. Verse 14. And of it he shall offer one out of its oblation for a heave offering unto Jehovah. It shall be the priest that sprinkleth the blood of the peace offerings. Verse 15. And the flesh of the sacrifice of his peace offerings for thanksgiving shall be eaten on the day of his oblation. He shall not leave any of it until the morning. Verse 16. But if the sacrifice of his oblation be a vow, or a freewill offering, it shall be eaten on the day that he offereth his sacrifice, and on the morrow that which remaineth of it shall be eaten. Verse 17. But that which remaineth of the flesh of the sacrifice on the 3rd day shall be burnt with fire. Verse 18. And if any of the flesh of the sacrifice of his peace offerings be eaten on the 3rd day, it shall not be accepted, neither shall it be imputed unto him that offereth it. It shall be an abomination, and the soul that eateth of it shall bear his iniquity. Verse 19. And the flesh that toucheth any unclean thing shall not be eaten. It shall be burnt with fire. And as for the flesh, every one that is clean shall eat thereof. Verse 20. But the soul that eateth of the flesh of the sacrifice of peace offerings, that pertain unto Jehovah, having his uncleanness upon him, that soul shall be cut off from his people. Verse 21. And when anyone shall touch any unclean things, the uncleanness of men, or an unclean beast, or any unclean abomination, and eat of the flesh of the sacrifice of peace offerings, which pertain unto Jehovah, that soul shall be cut off from his people. Verse 22. And Jehovah spake unto Moses, saying. Verse 23. Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, Ye shall eat no fat of ox, or sheep, or goat. Verse 24. And the fat of that which dieth of itself, and the fat of that which is torn of beast may be used for any other service, but ye shall in no wise eat of it. Verse 25. For whoever eateth the fat of the beast, of which men offer an offering made by fire unto Jehovah, even the soul that eateth it shall be cut off from his people. Verse 26. And ye shall eat no manner of blood, whether it to be of bird or of beast, in any of your dwellings. Verse 27. Whoever it be that eateth any blood, that soul shall be cut off from his people. Verse 28. And Jehovah spake unto Moses, saying. Verse 29. Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, He that offereth the sacrifice of his peace offerings unto Jehovah shall bring his oblation unto Jehovah out of the sacrifice of his peace offerings. Verse 30. His own hand shall bring the offerings of Jehovah made by fire. The fat with the breast shall he bring, that the breast may be waved for a wave offering before Jehovah. Verse 31. And the priest shall burn the fat upon the altar, but the breast shall be Aaron's and his sons. Verse 32. And the right tithe shall ye give unto the priest for a heave offering out of the sacrifices of your peace offerings. Verse 33. He among the sons of Aaron that offereth the blood of the peace offerings and the fat shall have the right tithe for a portion. Verse 34. For the wave breast and the heave tithes have I taken of the children of Israel out of the sacrifices of their peace offerings, and have given them unto Aaron the priest and unto his sons as their portions forever from the children of Israel. Verse 35. This is the anointing portions of Aaron, and the anointing portions of his sons, out of the offering of Jehovah made by fire, in the day when he presented them to minister unto Jehovah in the priest's office. Verse 36. Which Jehovah commanded to be given them of the children of Israel, and the day that he anointed them, it is their portion forever throughout their generations. Verse 37. This is the law of the burnt offering, of the meal offering, and of the sin offering, and of the trespass offering, and of the consecration, and of the sacrifice of peace offerings. Verse 38. Which Jehovah commanded Moses in Mount Sinai, in the day that he commanded the children of Israel to offer their oblations unto Jehovah in the wilderness of Sinai. Leviticus chapter 8 verse 1 to 36. Verse 1. The Lord said to Moses. Verse 2. Bring Aaron and his sons their garments, the anointing oil, the bowl of the sin offering, the 2 rams and the basket containing bread made without yeast. Verse 3. And gather the entire assembly at the entrance of the tent of meeting. Verse 4. Moses did as the Lord commanded him, and the assembly gathered at the entrance of the tent of meeting. Verse 5. Moses said to the assembly, This is what the Lord has commanded to be done. Verse 6. Then Moses brought Aaron and his sons forward and washed them with water. Verse 7. He put the tunic on Aaron, tied the sash around him, clothed him with a robe, and put the ephod on him. He also fastened the ephod with a decorative waistband, which he tied around him. Verse 8. He placed the breastpiece on him, and put the Urim and Thummim in the breastpiece. Verse 9. Then he placed the turban on Aaron's head, and set the gold plate, the sacred emblem, on the front of it, as the Lord commanded Moses. Verse 10. Then Moses took the anointing oil and anointed the tabernacle and everything in it, and so consecrated them. Verse 11. He sprinkled some of the oil on the altar 7 times, anointing the altar and all its utensils and the basins with its stand, to consecrate them. Verse 12. He poured some of the anointing oil on Aaron's head and anointed him to consecrate him. Verse 13. Then he brought Aaron's sons forward, put tunics on them, tied sashes around them, and fastened cups on them, as the Lord commanded Moses. Verse 14. He then presented the bull for the sin offering, and Aaron and his sons laid their hands on its head. Verse 15. Moses slaughtered the bull and took some of the blood, and with his finger he put it on all the horns of the altar to purify the altar. He poured out the rest of the blood at the base of the altar, so he consecrated it to make atonement for it. Verse 16. Moses also took all the fat around the internal organs, the long lobe of the liver, and both kidneys and their fat, and burnt it on the altar. Verse 17. But the bull with its hide and its flesh and its intestines he burns up outside the camp, as the Lord commanded Moses. Verse 18. He then presented the ram for the burnt offering, and Aaron and his sons laid their hands on its head. Verse 19. Then Moses slaughtered the ram and splashed the blood against the side of the altar. Verse 20. He cut the ram into pieces and burnt the head, the pieces, and the fat. Verse 21. He washed the internal organs and the legs with water and burned the whole ram on the altar. It was a burnt offering, a pleasing aroma, a food offering presented to the Lord, as the Lord commanded Moses. Verse 22. He then presented the other ram, the ram for the ordination, and Aaron and his sons laid their hands on its head. Verse 23. Moses slaughtered the ram and took some of its blood and put it on the lobe of Aaron's right ear, on the thumb of his right hand, and on the big toe on his right foot. Verse 24. Moses also brought Aaron's sons forward and put some of the blood on the lobes of their right ears, on the thumbs of their right hands, and on the big toes of their right feet. Then he splashed blood against the side of the altar. Verse 25. After that, he took the fat tail, all the fat around the internal organs, the long lobe of the liver, both kidneys and their fat, and the right thigh. Verse 26. And from the basket of bread made without yeast, which was before the Lord, he took one thick loaf with olive oil mixed in, and one thin loaf, and he put this on the fat portions and on the right thigh. Verse 27. He put all this in the hands of Aaron and his sons, and they waved them before the Lord as a wave offering. Verse 28. Then Moses took them from their hands and burned them on the altar on top of the burnt offerings as an ordination offering, a pleasing aroma, a food offering presented to the Lord. Verse 29. Moses also took the breast, which was his share of the ordination ram, and waved it before the Lord as a wave offering, as the Lord commanded Moses. Verse 30. Then Moses took some of the anointing oil and some of the blood from the altar and sprinkled them on Aaron and his garments, and on his sons and their garments. So he consecrated Aaron and his garments, and his sons and their garments. Verse 31. Moses then said to Aaron and his sons, "Cook the meat at the entrance to the tent of meeting, and eat it there with the bread from the basket of ordination offerings, as I was commanded. Aaron and his sons are to eat it." Verse 32. Then burn up the rest of the meat and the bread. Verse 33. Do not leave the entrance to the tent of meeting for 7 days, until the days of your ordination are completed, for your ordination will last 7 days. Verse 34. What has been done today was commanded by the Lord to make atonement for you. Verse 35, you must stay at the entrance to the tent of meeting day and night for 7 days and do what the Lord requires, so you will not die, for that is what I have been commanded. Verse 36, so Aaron and his sons did everything the Lord commanded through Moses.